Welcome back to Bold of You to Say. We're back with another episode, and we bring the heat. You know how it is.
I would scream, but it's currently going on 9 p.m. and I just don't want to piss people off.
It is quiet hours here also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
We got a great show for you. We talked mostly about stories from school.
It's great.
We were supposed to be talking about a story where a Christian school asked for pictures of kids in the bathtub.
And it just went downhill from there.
It's somehow better and worse with context.
So, I guess even Catholic schools take no as a yes.
We got two special guests this episode. Our moms.
Our moms. My mom, sadly, I'm not sure how well the audio will come out on this one, but
probably
she was there.
She was
there
here in spirit. Yeah. My mom, I called her and she showed baby pictures of Gavin. Weirdly enough, so stupid.
That's it. Yeah.
Anyway, Gavin watched She-Hulk, and we talked about She-Hulk because Gavin watched it, and he's not allowed to trash it anymore.
No, I'm not.
It's good. It turns out.
I enjoyed it.
And Howard Dean, if you're listening, please come on the show.
Please. Oh my God, please, Howard Dean.
This would be my reaction if Howard Dean came on the show.
Don't do it.
That would be my reaction.
Fuck you. That's such low-hanging fruit, Alex.
And then we watched Scary Godmother. Great program from our childhoods.
Do you want Howard D on the show or not?
I really do. I do
too. So maybe we shouldn't shoot ourselves in the foot here.
Look, if I shot myself in the foot, I would not be saying this.
Don't do it.
I would be saying this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all domestic terrorists.
Anyway,
let's just jump into it.
Let's jump into it.
Yeah, let's enter it by being airborne
through a means and a medium. All right, I'm gonna stop my recording.
That was funnier than it really is.
So last week, I teased this news story, some local news station in where is it?
In your ass?
Oh, Jacksonville, Florida.
So your ass. It was inside of your ass?
Yeah, it was in my ass.
Otherwise known as Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah. Got him.
Ha!
So,
but really though, a lot of people are dead now.
Yeah, but really though.
Shit. This is gonna come back to haunt me.
That's horrible.
Not literally anything else I've said on the show. Just
that specifically.
Just this bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, last week I mentioned the story. We didn't have time to cover it, but basically there was a Christian school in Florida that had some kind of reading assignment that was like.
Oh yeah.
It was like,
have there been developments? Have there the one there where they're like, hey, take a picture of yourself in the bathtub?
Yeah. Well,
reading
apparently a statement was released. I guess the day that the last episode came out, but I'll get to that. I want to lay the groundwork for the story.
Yeah.
So basically the assignment was like, hey, read this fucking book or whatever, and take a picture of you reading. And then it had a few places. It was standard stuff. Your school probably did something like this. My school had a thing where it's like, hey, reading can be fun anywhere. Do it in different places and take a picture of it.
Here's the issue for me, though. When my school was doing something like that, it was a Catholic school, but it was like, if you read a book, you get this little charm on a bracelet, right? And if you had so many charms, you got to pick a prize in an assembly. Right?
Yeah, fun stuff.
And so we did that. The issue was, I had and have dyslexia, and at the time, undiagnosed severe ADHD. So here's the deal.
Sounds like you just need to apply yourself.
Fuck you. I need meth. That's what I need. Anyway, no, but it was like my little kid self was like, fuck you. No amount of fucking goodie bags will get me to read a goddamn book.
Yeah.
no amount of Tootsie Rolls, no amount of like the only thing that would probably like nothing. Really, nothing. I was like, no, fuck you. I'm not gonna read a book.
Right. Yeah.
I think they gave me a book and they were like, here, read this. And I was like, okay. And then I just never read it.
Yeah. In ninth grade English, we had to read the Odyssey, and I read maybe 3 pages of it.
Fucking hell.
Probably not even that much.
What grade was this for you?
Ninth grade.
Oh, yeah, no, we did that in ninth grade.
Yeah, so we had to read the Odyssey. I got maybe like 2 pages into it, and I was like, this is kind of dry. I'm not even going to try to watch a movie or anything based on this. I just kind of absorbed the plot through osmosis. Like, I learned enough about the book that I could like pass like our test for it, right? So, hold on a second.
For sure.
Sorry, my phone rang. So I learned the bare bones of the plot and the story. Like, I got the general idea of it. And so our like final test for the book was basically talk to the teacher about the book.
Well, it's funny you say that because our final test for the book was us showing our penis to the teacher.
Oh, did you go to this school in Jacksonville?
I
will get back to that, but I just want to finish by saying
that wasn't true, by the way. I didn't show my penis to anyone.
I believe to this
my
day
mom and my doctor and my dad.
I believe
and my ex-girlfriend.
I believe to this day that teacher still believes that I read the book. Because I just was like, yeah, I really liked the father-son dynamic, and I liked what it said about,
totally bullshit your way through
I bullshitted my way through it 100%.
Yeah.
And I did it flawlessly.
Well, what's great?
That is probably where I peaked in life.
You know what's awesome? The fact that like teachers in high school, like you'll do shit like that, and they'll be like, that's not gonna fly in college. Meanwhile, I'm going supersonic, doing the same shit in college, breaking the fucking sound barrier.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, I'm just like concurring to a degree.
Yeah, and
yes, I agree.
And one thing that you brought up that I don't know, I just kind of made this. I don't want to say connection, but like I was one of those kids that quote unquote didn't apply themselves. I haven't gotten diagnosed yet, but I probably had, like you said, severe undiagnosed ADHD. Not once did anyone through that process of me going through 14 years of school, counting preschool and young fives, not once in 14 years did anyone even consider giving me meth.
I feel like when someone has issues in school, the first thing they think is, let's give them a Schedule II narcotic.
Yeah. No, like people meme about this all the time about how like ADHD is like overdiagnosed in some cases because it's like a kid looks out the window and they're like, that kid's got fucking problems. We better give them drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I didn't get any of that. Why didn't I get meth?
Can I tell you a funny story actually that you were there for?
Yeah.
Technically. So I got diagnosed when I was at CTC.
Oh damn, really?
Yeah.
Like how far in?
That was my senior year of high school.
Okay, so it would have been our first year?
Would have been our
first year of film.
First year of film for me.
We were both first years.
Yeah. And I remember I went to get my dyslexia diagnosis kind of re-upped because they have to check it every couple of years.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, like, just to see how I'm tracking. And so on top of being dyslexic, they were also like, yeah, you also have severe ADHD. So I went to my teachers and I was like, hey, teachers, so it turns out I have severe ADHD. Just letting you know.
Yeah. Well, how did they just like spring that on you? Like, oh, here's your whatever. Oh, by the way, you have severe undiagnosed ADHD.
Well, it's just something that like, so when you're a kid, they're like, yeah, they're undisciplined and they can't really.
They don't apply themselves.
Well, yeah, because you're a kid.
Yeah.
Like,
what kid applies themselves?
Exactly. And so, okay. Anyway, I went to my teachers, gave him the spiel. Well, I go to Mr. Mills, right? And I'm like, hey, just letting you know that I got my
I'm on the edge of my seat right now, by the way, because I have no idea which way this is going to go. No.
I'm like, hey, Haley, what did I say? Get the fuck out of here. We're recording. This is so unprofessional.
She can't hear you, but I'll relay the message.
Okay. So I go to Mr. Mills.
Being very unprofessional.
No. Tell her the whole thing. Tell her to go fuck herself. And
he also says go fuck yourself. And what else?
That's it.
Oh, and that's it. He said it. Great. Now she's crying.
No, I saw her. She flipped me off. Anyway, so it's like the third time of me trying to finish this story.
Sorry.
Anyway,
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to predict which way, because knowing him, like, he could either be like super supportive or he could be like, "What the fuck is ADHD?"
This isn't Mr. Mord. You know that, right?
No. Yeah.
Mr. Mills.
Yeah.
Okay. So, go to Mr. Mills, and I'm like, "Hey, I got my dyslexia thing kind of re-upped, but they also found that I have severe ADHD." And he looks at me a little puzzled, and he goes, "Well, I could have told you that."
Yeah, that's great.
And it's funny because that was kind of the essence of every single one of my teacher's responses.
That's awesome.
That was kind of like yeah. And
no, I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna do that too now. Actually, I'm gonna as a 21-year-old adult, I'm going to go to the doctor, do whatever it takes to get the ADHD diagnosis, whatever it takes. Being like, I don't know how.
You have to go to a psychologist.
Yeah. Sorry, I just feel like that came off a little different from how I meant it. I don't know what's involved in the testing, so I didn't what I didn't mean by that,
and do whatever I can do to get meth.
What I did not mean by that is I am going to do whatever it takes.
I am in fact going to do everything I can do in my power to get some speed.
In my power to get meth. Yes.
Yeah. That is in fact what he meant.
All right. Back to the story in just a second. I got to close the window. I don't want anyone outside to hear my my yelling. All right, I'm back.
He's back.
Hey, if you need meth, I have the perfect advice for you.
Call a crackhead.
It's actually not the same. Anyway.
Yeah, but like they have connections. They know people.
Do they know?
They gotta. Or else how do they become a crackhead?
They just fall off their stairs and hit their head really hard, and they become a crackhead.
That's great. Thank you for that. That was wonderful. So anyway,
fucking funny.
So anyway, this school has this assignment. It's like, hey, take a picture of you reading in whatever other place, and the bathtub, which is what got a lot of attention on it, and like I get what the assignment is. It's like reading is fun. It can be done anywhere. Blah blah blah. But like,
no, let me get this straight. When they said in a bathtub, they didn't mean while taking a bath.
Hey, they meant what they meant is kind of like a secondary issue, because it wasn't like there was no context for that. It was just in a bathtub. Period. Next sentence.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's like up to interpretation.
If you don't add context to that, there's a very fine line between a fun little activity and child pornography.
Yeah. So anyway, this Action News Jacks, local news station covered this, and they interviewed the parents of the kid that this story is centered around. So this is a quote from the article. I emailed the teacher, hey, you may want to explain that, send something out to the parents, let them know what the intentions are. This just does not sound okay, Misty Dunham said. She did send out a message saying you should be in pajamas, be in your uniform, have fun with it, unquote. But it didn't sit right. So that's the mom talking. Mm-hmm. Then another segment from the article. In a police report obtained by Action News Jacks, it states parents were told by administrators, quote, we have been sending this homework assignment for years, and you're the only one complaining about it, unquote. Police advised the parents not to take the photo. And then a little bit later in the article. Later, the Dunham family said they got a call from the school, quote, he said, I think you guys should do a parental withdrawal for the child. I said, I can't do that. We refuse to withdraw her, Misty Dunham said. quote, he said, "Okay, thank you for saying that," and continued on saying, "Well, we're going to proceed with an administrative withdrawal." So basically, this kid goes home with his homework that says, "Take a picture in the bathtub." Then the parents are like, "Hey, school, what's going on here? What is this?" And then they were like, "Okay, you're expelled now."
You know, it's funny because if the kid had just not done the assignment, it would have been like fine. Like it would have been like, "Hey, do your homework," but it would not have like resulted in him getting kicked out of the fucking school or them getting kicked out of the fucking school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's what's ridiculous to me. It's not that he didn't, sorry, is it he or she?
She.
If you don't mind me asking. She. It's not that she didn't like do the assignment. It's that like the school. Well, it is that she didn't do the assignment, but like I don't know.
Well, the school is like the school is almost like embarrassed. I want to say, I mean, that's the only word I can think of to describe it, because they're like trying to cover their ass, sort of, but in the worst way.
This just reminds me of the Catholic Church.
They could say something like, "Yeah, I realize how this looks, but we didn't mean for it to come off like this. We'll retract the assignment." Like that's what they should be saying, but instead they're just expelling the kid for like their parents raising this issue.
Like you don't even have to retract the assignment. You just have to retract that part of the assignment.
Yeah, just change the assignment and then
like
don't send it out with the bathtub part anymore.
Right. Hey, try reading while petting your dog.
Yeah. But yeah, the article also says like they cross-checked it. They checked with the documents at the school, and apparently as of when this was written, the child was not enrolled in the school. So like they actually were just expelled for this.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Without explanation.
Yeah, it's not like it just reminds me of when the Catholic Church was doing the Crusades, and like half the people in Europe were like, "But isn't killing a sin?" And the church was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, exactly.
Like, isn't it "Thou shalt not kill"? And the church was like, "Hey, go fuck yourself."
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's like. I don't want to bring up abortion again because we've been talking about it like a lot. It's
kind of a dead horse at this point.
It is kind of a dead horse, but give me like 10 seconds, okay?
1.
Okay, it is 2, like when they
3,
say abortion is murder,
4,
and if you do an abortion,
5,
we're gonna kill you.
6. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, it's like when they're like, yeah, death penalty for abortion. It's like that's against what you say you are pro.
It's like showing someone your peaceful ways by force.
Yeah, like some kind of the Crusades.
Yes.
It's like some kind of the Crusades. Yeah. Anyway, so it says in the article, the family believes this sends the wrong message. Like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
And it says the president of Victory Christian Academy, the school that this child was expelled from, Pastor Jesse Latta, sent us this statement regarding the assignment. Quote, "There was an assignment given. As I understand, you have received a copy. It was taken out of an online teacher resource and has been used in many schools. There were certainly no bad intentions with this assignment. When a parent contacted our teacher with a complaint, our teacher immediately sent out correspondence to all parents in the class to assure them that there were no bad intentions with this assignment and to clarify the guidelines. No additional comments were presented to the teacher. While the assignment was completely innocent, out of an abundance of caution and for there to be no misunderstandings, our administration has removed this particular assignment for any future use. We value our children and their safety as our top priority. We will continue to serve." Yeah, except for that one. Fuck that one. We will continue to serve the children and families in which the Lord has graciously allowed us to have a part in their lives.
They talk about Jesus being like a sacrificial lamb. I think they haven't realized that in every situation there doesn't have to be a sacrificial lamb.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it seems like there's like it's a trend. Like noticing like this school and like the school that I went to, it seems like schools are just ran by the people who are worse at apologizing. Because
oddly enough, it's like that was the equivalent of like, I don't know. I feel like that was the equivalent of like thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, well, I have a story that's like kind of like a little bit related to this. So in like the 8th grade, I think, I got lunch detention. I don't remember what it was for. I think I had too many absences. Yeah, so I had to serve a lunch detention, and like I think it was my first time doing lunch detention. So I thought like partway through we could leave. Something along those lines. So like I did.
Someone miscommunicated somewhere.
Yeah, and like no one stopped me, but I like left when I thought I could go. Yeah. And then I got in trouble for that, and I had to like wait in like a one of our like basically like quarantine rooms where they would put bad kids when they're misbehaving.
Okay.
So I got put in the shed, and like I wasn't supposed to be there for very long, but they just like left me there.
Okay.
Like they kind of like, I think like the principal or whoever was like just supposed to be watching just forgot that I was there.
That's great.
And it had been like a few hours, and I was like I didn't leave because I was like, I don't want to get in any more trouble for leaving, but I was texting my mom like, hey, they kind of got me in here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe you can call them. And she called.
Where's my kid?
And she was like, where is my son right now? And they were like, he's in class, which I should have been. And she was like, are you sure about that?
Are you absolutely
And they're like,
certain?
yeah, he's in class. He's in his whatever 5th period science class.
Pull him out of class right now.
Are you sure about that? And they were like, well, whatever. And then I guess they checked and found out I was still there, and they sent me to class. But they like tried to get me for texting my mom during that. And it's like, all you had to do was just send me to class and be like, my bad, we had a miscommunication. We kind of just forgot. We forgot about your son. Here's $20.
You know what's funny?
Can we call it square?
You could have just walked out.
I could have. Yeah.
You could have just walked out.
In retrospect, I should have
gone to Starbucks or something. Like, fuck it.
Yeah. Like, I could have walked 40 minutes to I could have walked a 40-minute drive to Starbucks.
What what grade was this?
This was like 8th grade.
Yeah, fuck it. What is fuck it. Walk to Starbucks, who cares?
Yeah. But all they had to do was just say, my bad, I'm sorry. Like, that's all that you have to do in that situation. And that's all that this school had to do in this situation. Just be like, yeah, we didn't realize how this looked. We kind of just were putting our, the teacher can be like, I was just putting my lesson plan together. And this just made it through the cracks. Not much you can do about it other than, do better moving forward. That's what I'm going to do. But instead they were like, actually a lot of schools do pedophilia, and also you're expelled.
I feel like an adult telling me that the pictures that they have of kids isn't anything mischievous. I feel like they're a pedophile.
Yeah, maybe. Also, like, people love talking about like how like CRT and communism are grooming our kids. And the left.
Meanwhile, in most American Catholic schools,
they go after like drag queen story hour, which is just a good thing. It's just a fun thing for kids to do and learn how to read or whatever. Like,
so
then this is what the Christian right responds with: send a picture of yourself in the bathtub.
Weird. Did I tell you the story of when I was sent to the principal's office in 1st grade?
No, I didn't. I never heard this one.
It's kind of related to yours.
Yeah.
But it was recess time, right? And me and my friend were playing. And now this was like probably a good 15, 16 years ago. So memory a little hazy. As far as I remember, we heard the bell or we saw kids running toward the door to go in back from recess. And we were like walking over while playing to get back into the line.
Yeah.
Well, we get up to the doors and like they're shut and no one's out and about. And we're like, what the fuck's going on? So we're just kind of like walking around because we're kids and we're just like, okay, I guess that's just
how many of you are? Is this like you and like a couple other people?
One other kid.
Oh,
me
okay.
and one other kid. As I remember. And so the fucking person who's supposed to be watching us comes out.
Oh.
Right? Because I'm sure they got in from recess and the teacher's just like, we're missing 2.
Yeah.
Where are these 2 kids? And so the whole school went fucking like panic. Where the fuck are these 2 kids?
Right.
And they're like, go check outside again. Maybe you missed them. So the person who's supposed to be watching us, what is that called? The recess person? Sure.
That's what my school called him.
Yeah, I don't know. The fucking dude. Anyway.
Yeah, the fucking dude. He was like, hey,
whatever,
you
right?
know.
Hey,
come on.
Smoking a joint. Just like, what the fuck are you doing out here?
Forget about it.
Comes out. Like, what are you doing?
Did you have to do this?
And we're like,
did you have to do this?
Call a crackhead.
Actually, now that I remember that, yeah, we just said no. Yeah, no, we said that. So the person was like, what are you doing out here? And we were like, what aren't you doing out here?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't say that because it's Catholic school and like the teacher's always right. So we're like, we don't know what we're doing out here. What are we doing out here?
Yeah.
And so the person like grabs us and they bring us inside and we go to the fucking principal's office. Why was it our fault? I don't know.
Yeah, they locked you out.
Like, so
also, the reason that you're in trouble is because you're not in class. Yet every moment you're getting in trouble for not being in class, you are not in class.
By the way, this is first grade.
Yeah.
They're supposed to have like
these are like 7-year-olds.
Yeah, like I was okay. Granted, I was a year older than everyone else because I was held back in like.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck you. Then you should have known better.
Yeah, no, I should have been of the maturity to know. No,
you should have shown leadership. Quite frankly,
I should have shown initiative.
Yeah, you should have come in 10 minutes before recess ended.
Yeah,
set an example. You should have applied yourself.
No, I should have come in 10 minutes before recess ended and done my taxes.
You should have, yes.
I should have. That's what a good American boy would have done. And so anyway, it's really funny. So, funny enough, this happened in the town I'm currently in. So I want to point that out because I was born here. Anyway, so talk to the principal, and of course, my friend who I was playing with going back in was like the one talking because he's just like, the fuck? Why am I here? Like, why am I in the principal's office? What did I do? Like, what did I do? And I'm there standing, eyes down, sobbing, because I thought I was a bad kid, and I thought they were gonna like kick me out, and they were gonna tell my parents. My parents were gonna yell at me and be mad at me. None of that happened. And I forget like what the repercussions were, but like the principal was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to call your parents
for being locked out."
But really, they're going to call our parents not to tell them how bad of children we are, but to try to cover their fucking asses.
Right.
Because we literally could have been kidnapped.
Yeah, schools are like run, it seems, entirely by people who are just the worst at accountability.
Yeah.
I had a teacher, 5th grade, the first 5th grade teacher I had her for about 2 weeks before I was like, okay, it's time to go to a different school.
No, I want to call my mom now because she totally would have remembered that.
Oh yeah, my mom loves telling these stories. No, I gotta have her on the show. Do you think if I called her? I'm not going to, but do you think if I called her?
I'm tempted to just call my mom right now. Like,
we'll have to do a Mother's Day special.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, but anyway, I'll keep this one short, but it is a very long story short. But I had this teacher, and she like for some reason hated me in particular. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say without reason because I was an annoying kid, but like she just like singled me out for shit and like would just throw the book at me for like no reason. Like I had like an R2D2 lunchbox. And you push a button on it, and it like beeps and lights up. R2D2 shit.
Did you push a button and it like opened up and went?
I did it because it was fun, like a few times. But she was
shit.
But she was like, okay, we can't do that. Can't disrupt class. You can do it at recess or whatever. And I was like, okay, fine. But like other kids would push it, and then I get in trouble for that. And it's like, what am I supposed to do, really? Mm-hmm. But. Yeah, I got in trouble for something along those lines, and I got home and I I was picked up by my mom. So I got home pretty quickly and I explained what happened. And then the teacher called and she was like, "Hey, is your son home?" And she's like, "As a matter of fact, he is." She was like, "Oh, I was hoping to talk to you before he got home." She was like, "Why?" Because you know that your story won't line up.
Is that what your mom said?
Yeah.
Oh,
dude. No, now I realize I gotta have her on the show because she would say that shit to their faces. She was like, "Why? Because you want your story to, because you know that your story won't line up.
Oh my god.
Because you know you're bullshitting."
Holy shit. Well, to like end my original story.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I wasn't entirely, but like it come full circle.
Yeah.
So I thought my parents were gonna yell at me, they're gonna be mad at me. So like I was dreading the end of the day, right? And so I see my mom and I'm like shaking. I'm like so like nervous. My mom's like, "Hi, how was school?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I love you." And she's just like, "It's okay. It's okay." And she kind of walked me through it. And I think like a couple years later, she like talked to me how she was like mom pissed. She was like, "Why are you punishing my kid for your fuck up?
Yeah.
Why are you punishing my kid who has done nothing wrong except maybe not hearing the bell that your person didn't ring, possibly not loud enough, and didn't check to see if my kid had lined up?"
Yeah. Like, they failed the head count. What were you supposed to do?
What I was playing Teen Titans.
Yeah.
I was playing Teen Titans with my friend Matrin.
Which one were you?
I remember his name. Oh fuck! I think I always like to be Robin.
Oh yeah.
But like.
So you were a main character kid too?
What?
You were a main character kid too?
Yeah, I always had to be the main character, and if I wasn't, I was like, "This is a subpar game."
Yeah, me too. And I feel like that's really how we've been operating this show, and I gotta say it's been good. It's been fun.
Really good. I've been enjoying this.
Yeah, we are each our own main character of our own half of the show.
I'd say so. I feel like we've both been shoved into a slightly too small box.
Yeah.
And we're both vying to get attention.
We're like I don't know, Fleetwood Mac. I don't know. I tried to relate it to a
Mac. Except I'm Fleetwood.
Oh no, well I'm actually Hall and you're Oates.
Okay, when I first heard Hall and Oates, I thought they were like transporting oats.
Yeah.
Hauling oats is what I heard.
Yeah, and they had a falling out because one of them wasn't hauling enough.
Yeah.
Hey man, you're not pulling your weight of oats.
Oh, hang on. Hold on. My mom's FaceTiming me. Hold on.
We got our first call in.
Mom. I'm doing the podcast right now with Alex, but we're talking about the times we were sent to the principal's office as kids. For the first time. Remember at
hold her close to the mic.
Elementary. Okay. Tell me what happened. No. The first time in first grade, Mom.
You have to specify.
Remember? Didn't come in for recess.
Hold her close to the mic.
Oh, I thought you would. Hold on. I need to make something clear in the podcast. So I was actually sent to the principal's office twice in my life. The first time for the recess thing, and the second time for punching a kid in the nuts. Anyway,
that's awesome. That's great.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
So, remember Father Marquette Elementary School? They rang the bell to end recess, and I didn't. Well, it's not that I didn't come in. It's that either I don't remember, but like either I didn't hear the bell, or either I didn't hear the bell or I heard the bell and I was just kind of slower than everyone else because I was playing while I was going to the line. And they let all the kids in and it was just me and Matrin out there. Well, I deduced that the class must have gotten back, and then Mrs. Sherritt was like, "We're missing two. I definitely remember Tiger and Matrin were here." And they panicked. You don't? Really? Oh.
Hey, Gavin, I think our new co-host isn't pulling her weight.
Yeah, I feel like she's not either.
She's not hauling her oats.
I have to go now. I love you. Bye. Well, I done got fucked over by my mom, and don't take that in the Alabama sense.
Stepmom?
Fuck you.
I'm gonna try calling my mom and see. she's probably going to try to tell the whole story, but I just want to narrow it down to the part where I come home and the teacher calls.
Yeah.
All right, I'm calling. I got a fancy setup because mine goes through the mixer. Hey, Mom, I'm doing the podcast right now, but we're talking about like times that we got in trouble at school.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm not going to say names, but remember the first 5th grade teacher I had?
Yes.
And I was telling about how like I got in trouble probably for the lunchbox thing, but I came home and then I told you what happened, and then the teacher called.
Yes.
Yeah, Gavin thought it was funny what I told him that you said when she called.
That's fucking hilarious.
What? What did I say?
When you were like, why did you? Because she said, I was hoping to call you before he got home.
She goes, oh, you already heard about it? And I said, well, if he does know how to talk. And she goes, well, I don't like his lunchbox. And I said, well, see there, I didn't buy it for you. I bought it for him.
And didn't you say something like, why did you want to call before he got home? Is it because you know your story won't match up?
Yeah. Yeah, I told her, I said, well, what tells me about it first as long as you both have the same story.
Oh.
Yeah, then she tried to tell me that Alex was a bully and that
I'm not a bully, right, Gavin?
Bullying is against school.
Yeah.
It talks about it in the school handbook. And I said, yeah, I know. Did you read it? Because it pertains to you, too. You're not supposed to be a bully either.
She really did not let up.
Holy shit.
My mom does not take prisoners.
Oh, my God.
She said, well, I don't think I'm comfortable having this conversation any further. And I said,
Mrs. Myers?
Why? Because you point and get it to stick? Yeah,
Mrs.
she
Myers.
didn't like it. What?
Mrs. Myers, Alex. Oh, can she hear me?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Mrs. Myers. I feel like Ukraine could really use your services when talking to Vladimir Putin.
Oh, I'd like to be president for a month.
No, like just like Vladimir Zelensky will call you and be like, "Hey, we just need you to talk to Vladimir Putin. We heard how you helped your son in middle school. We need you to talk to Vladimir." And he'll put you on the phone, and Vladimir Putin will be like, "They're all Nazis there in Ukraine," and you'll be like, "The only Nazi I see here is you." And I just see the whole conversation, and I think they could use you.
They need you on the front lines.
They need you on the front lines to negotiate peace.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I have been accused before of well, don't ask Mary what she thinks if you don't really want to know. And
wait, is your mom's name Mary?
Yeah. If you don't want to know, then don't ask me. But if you're going to ask,
my mom's name is Mary as well.
Huh?
My mom's name is Mary as well.
Oh, well, see?
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Great. Yeah.
Pretty neat.
That's
I
awesome.
like that.
Small world.
I like that.
Anyway, thank you for telling that story. That's I thought that was funny, and I
sometimes I'm afraid of what story story being told and thinking, crap, what did I do now?
Yeah. Anyway, I'll call you back when we're done recording.
All right. I'll talk to you then.
All right. Love you.
Oh,
I love
man.
you too.
Bye.
Bye,
I love you.
So anyway, we need my mom on the front lines. No, that was
your mom needs to be in Ukraine.
Did you saw Batman v Superman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Save
like
Martha.
Literally...
How do you know that name?
Your mom is your mom versus the teacher is like an immovable object hits an unstoppable force.
Oh yeah. No, it's great.
Or, sorry, the other way around. An unstoppable force hits an immovable object.
We need to have her on as an official guest, just so she can tell the rest of her stories. Talking to like
both our moms on, and we can just like,
hey, this mixer has 4 inputs, you know.
Yeah, we could do it.
Let's make it happen.
I hate that my mom didn't remember the story though. Like, I thought she would be like, "Oh yeah," and the fucking assholes didn't, you were still outside.
Yeah, I knew my mom would remember because she's like a jukebox for stories like that. All you have to do is like give her the keywords, and like the search engine in her head she'll go off on like the pre-rehearsed story. It's great. Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
it's a great party trick. But anyway, so this story, I don't want to get too sidetracked, even though we've gotten incredibly sidetracked.
Like this entire time, we were like, Florida school, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I allowed it to continue, though, as producer.
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes the show fun, though.
It's fun. It's fun.
That's what makes the show fun.
I like telling stories. But anyway, so this article,
storyteller of sorts.
We got through pretty much the whole thing with the original story. The assignment goes out. The parents are concerned. They talk to the school, and the school is like, "We didn't do anything wrong, and you're expelled." So apparently, this article was updated on. Well, it says update Wednesday, September 5th, but
yeah,
I think they meant October 5th. Yeah, because September 5th was a Monday, and today is October 5th. You get it. But anyway, so this statement was released.
You lost me. Say that again.
So October is this month.
Okay.
But anyway, that's not important. So this this statement was released September 30th, so the day that the last episode came out.
Yeah.
This is a quote, I guess, from... Oh, so this is the statement from the school. Quote, "We would like to give clarification on a situation regarding our Christian school and a homework assignment that was given, including information which has either not been reported by the media or which was reported incorrectly. To be clear, our biblical faith finds any exploitation of children to be absolutely abhorrent." Good to know. Good to know you don't think child porn is good.
I'm happy they weren't like, we take any amount of child whatever as absolutely unacceptable. I like how they had to be like abhorrent.
Oh yeah, they're breaking out the fire and brimstone here. Anyway, as a pastor, our Christian school is dedicated to the protection of children and biblical modesty. A family whose child attends our private Christian school contacted their child's teacher concerning a homework assignment that was given. The teacher in our school The teacher in our school had given an assignment to students from a website with resources for teachers called, quote, "We Are Teachers," unquote. It urged reading for students, encouraging them to read, quote, "Under a Tree," unquote, quote, nonfiction book, quote, unquote, quote, "In the park," unquote, quote,
hey,
"for
Alex,
an hour straight," unquote, quote, "before breakfast," in a bathtub,
quote,
under the stars, under a blanket fort, and 12 other possibilities. The teachers
while urinating on a teddy bear.
Yeah, hold this teddy bear. The eye looks suspiciously like a camera lens, but don't worry, it's just the art style. The teacher simply asked the parents to take a picture of the student reading to receive credit for their homework assignment. The photo in question was to be submitted through a school educational portal, not to a personal cell phone or email address. In prior years when this assignment was used, never did a parent send an inappropriate picture of a child sitting in a bathtub or any other homework locations. There's more, but I just want to react a little bit to it. So, like, there was no confusion over what the assignment was.
Yeah.
Like, as far as I know, it was understood what the assignment was. And, like,
yeah.
I would hope that it's not going to a personal cell phone or email. Like,
yes,
like they're laying out, like, the procedure, like it makes a difference.
Yeah.
And like, yo, their schools are doing this too, and no parents so far have sent a picture of their child in the bathtub. It's like, yeah, I would hope they don't. It would be like seriously bad if they did. Like, I think that's a very low bar. The idea that no parents have sent inappropriate pictures of their kids. Like, that's the baseline. That's the bare minimum. And that just means yet. No one did that yet.
No, that just means that we know of, because no one's going through the teacher's emails. No one's going through that shit, man.
Look, I don't, like, if you ask my opinion on it, I don't know any of the facts beyond what I have laid out in the article so far, but yeah. I would wager that no one has sent inappropriate pictures of their children to a teacher as a result of this assignment. However, you gotta, like, realize as a teacher what that makes you look like. Like, optically, that's just not what you want to do.
They didn't deny having any, like, inappropriate pictures of kids.
They just said it's abhorrent.
They just said that they haven't sent. That's all. Like, anyway.
Yeah, I also kind of feel like, I don't want to say nervous, but a little cautious joking about it, because I don't want to contribute to like the hysteria around like child grooming in schools.
Yeah.
A thing that is not happening the way that conservatives are saying it is. Like they think like Antifa is going into public schools and doing CRT and communism and grooming. Like all that stuff that conservatives are talking about, it's fiction. It's not happening. I want to make that clear, because I don't know what people will take out of context. People thought in our last video, or the clip that we uploaded, by the way, people were like saying that we were doing like mental gymnastics to defend Joe Biden.
I was just about to be like, Alex, there are mental gymnastics you'll do.
I want to be clear in this, but I don't think I could have been any clearer in that segment that we were not defending Joe Biden or what he was saying. We were just saying a pretty like obvious thing that he didn't mean to say, that Elton John caused AIDS.
There was a better way of saying that.
Yeah.
There's a better way of getting that point across.
That's why the clip is called Joe Biden Needs to Figure Out Phrasing. Because he just said like a technically true thing, but in a way that sounds like he's blaming Elton John for AIDS.
It was r/technically the truth.
Yeah, it was very much r/technically the truth. But anyway, that's just all a lot of laying the groundwork for covering my ass. Anyway. The rest.
What ass is there to cover? We're pretty transparent in the clip.
We are. Yeah, I know.
What donkey are we trying to make sure is not cool?
It will never be enough. It will never be enough for the boomers.
Man, this fame is getting to me, Alex.
I know. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, more of the statement. The mother of the second grade student messaged the teacher concerning this homework assignment, stating that, quote, "This may be interpreted wrongfully. I would send a message out to parents explaining this," unquote. Our teacher responded back, quote, "I'll send a message out," unquote. The parents then replied, quote, "Sorry, I just didn't want it to get turned around." Within minutes before the students even completed their school day, all parents in the class in which this assignment was given received the following correspondence. Quote, "For homework tonight, the paper says to send a picture of them reading their homework in the bathtub. It was brought to my attention that this can be interpreted wrong, so let me explain. They are supposed to be in their PJs, play clothes, or uniform while reading their homework in the empty bathtub. It's just supposed to be a fun thing for them to do." Again, there's more, but like, why is that fun? And also, why not just take it out of the assignment?
No, that's one of those things that the second you try to defend that, you look like a pedophile.
Yeah, it's like you should never, your defense should never be, well, I'm not technically asking for child pornography.
And like, I get it. Just the second a parent's just like, this is a little weird, you should be like,
Duly noted. Yeah.
Okay.
All you have to do is just say, "My bad, I'll retract that part of the assignment." But they just, for some reason, it's like hardwired into like people working in schools to just not take accountability.
Well, it's funny because the school got offended and was like, "You need to leave."
Yeah. Yeah, you're not being very civil right now. Let's see.
You know what I think Jesus would say, Alex?
He would say,
"Gak, I expire."
No, he would say, "What's a bathtub?"
Yeah. He would say this.
"Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids."
He wouldn't actually say that. I just wanted to show off the new sound drop.
I know you did.
He would actually say this.
"We have to keep our country gay."
Anyway, I'm trying to find where exactly we are. In prior years, blah, blah, blah. The mother of the second grade student. Oh, no, we did that. Okay. Due to the nature of the concern, the mother of this second grade student also contacted our school administration after hours. The administrator agreed that clarification would be sent out, and within minutes reached out to the parent, letting her know that clarification was sent out 2 hours prior to her phone call. The administrator then met with teachers immediately the next morning to discontinue the use of the assignment to avoid any further misunderstandings. good thing to do. The suggestion, the suggestion that our Christian school would ever engage in the taking of inappropriate pictures of children is not only abhorrent to us personally, but it was never part of the homework assignment being questioned. To the best of our knowledge, the matter was taken care of until the parent reached out to inform us a police report had been filed. I don't, maybe you could make the argument that maybe it's going a little far filing a police report, but I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry.
I get that. And like,
also that the school is really like trying too hard to play for sympathy.
Right. But also like at that point, it's like, okay, we'll just pet your dog and read a book and take a picture of that. Like just do that and we'll count it. It's fine. We're literally just trying to get them to read. It's not even like
yeah. Well, like they're trying to like make it out like they're the victim. Like the school is the victim. Like we personally are very insulted and we find it very abhorrent that you would accuse us of such denigrating behavior. It's like, just don't do that. Just don't send out that assignment and you'll be fine.
You know, it's funny. If this were like a liberal, like New York school, like, you know, the media would be the other way on this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
Like, these pedophile liberals.
I mean, they already do that for just like, I don't know, a teacher happening to be gay.
Oh, yeah. And that's like a teacher who's just teaching and not asking them, the kids, to take a picture of themselves.
Yeah, it's just a teacher existing while gay.
Yeah.
Like that's all it takes for them to be like, this is grooming and CRT and communism. But this, like, it's just like, there's no interpretation of that makes them look good. At best, it looks like just an innocent, you know, case of unfortunate phrasing. At best, it's that. At worst, it's like, hey, I'm not asking for child pornography, but you know, if you wanted to give me some.
Like at worst, it's a secret child pedophile ring.
Yeah, and like a legitimate one.
Like, and that's a legit, like, I think anytime there's suspicion that there's a pedophile ring, that should involve some form of law enforcement.
Right. Yeah. Investigate it. Knock on the door, even if it's just to find out that it's false.
Just knock on the door and be like, hey, let me look at your hard drive real quick.
Yeah. But anyway,
a search
there's
warrant.
Only a couple more paragraphs of this. It's a lot longer than I expected it to be. Also, they've just been saying the same thing, but with different words. Like, basically, it's not our fault. And also, you're bad for accusing us. Anyway, we understand and support the parents reaching out to the teacher for clarification. As a pastor and parent, we encourage parents to be actively involved in their children's assignments. We also encourage them to raise any questions they have with the ministry of our Christian school. Our ministry always has and always will support parental involvement in the academic life and work of their children. The teacher immediately clarified and made it clear that there was nothing inappropriate being requested. The continued misrepresentation otherwise is simply false. The teachers of our Victory Christian Academy have given their lives to ensuring blah, 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 sucking themselves off. Continue to do so with excellence, blah, 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 more self-fellation. Signed, Pastor Jesse Lotta.
You know, I love how they're just like, are you worried about child pedophilia? Yeah, talk to the priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can talk to our priest.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. That's like being accused of, like, I don't know, doing horrific murder and being like, oh yeah, I'm not doing anything wrong. Talk to this clown.
Well, it's like having questions about the Jewish faith and then being directed to the KKK.
Yeah. Oh, we'll tell you all about them.
Yeah. Like, what? Well, if you have any questions, you can go to the people who have a higher percentage, just statistically, of being pedophiles.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, there's not much more to say to that segment. Just all the school had to do was just apologize, but instead they just doubled down and they made themselves out to be the victim.
The school to have done? The school should have just been like, we are confident there is no child pedophilia in this situation, and we are ready to cooperate fully with law enforcement.
That's all they had to do.
All they had to say.
If they're truly innocent, which they probably are, like, just cooperate.
I don't see the issue here.
Yeah. Like they're making a mountain out of a molehill and they're making themselves look worse than they initially looked.
It's like how I hate to drag us into Trump stuff, but
all right, we get to talk about him. I'll give it 2.5 minutes. We get 2.5 minutes to talk about Trump. Starting now. So say how it's like Trump.
So the National Archives was like, hey, we don't have shit. And Trump was like, no, I gave you the shit. And they're like, the National Archives is like, I don't have the shit. So anyway, National Archives goes to the DOJ and it's like, we don't have this shit. The DOJ authorizes a whole raid on Mar-a-Lago. They get the shit. And then the National Archives is still like, we don't have all of our shit. And we're going to start investigating you, Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is like, no, I gave you all the shit. And they're like, well, we don't have all the shit.
Yeah.
And so Trump is like, well, I need a special master, which if you don't know is a third-party lawyer to make sure that all the law stuff is happening fairly. The issue is this information is so top secret and sensitive that it would make that lawyer a national security risk.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, now I'm hearing that Trump's trying to get the Supreme Court involved.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
So they have a special master, right? And it's funny because all the lawyers in that situation were like, this is worse than a train wreck, because the special master is like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Because I guess there was nothing to be needed for a special master, and the DOJ was actually within their rights to just do their investigation.
Exactly.
Right? So now it's fucking come to, balls have hit the wall 10 minutes ago, right? And you're trying to shut the door?
Yeah. If I stretch my body, I can just reach it with my foot without taking my headphones off.
Anyway, so balls have just gone through the wall. It's terrible. And so Trump is finally like, hey, Supreme Court, help! By the way, they can't
can
help
I get
him.
some help from the Federalist Society?
There's nothing that the court system, the Supreme Court can do. The only thing that could be done is to have a presidential pardon, really.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
just do what Nixon did and claim that you're above the law.
No, he's already done that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He's already been like,
I realized halfway through saying that, yeah. He just straight up said on Truth Social, he truthed that he should just be reinstated.
No, it's great because he's just like, I have executive privilege, and to which all the courts said, no, you don't. You're not president.
Yeah, that's like saying Jimmy Carter has executive privilege.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, happy birthday, Jimmy Carter.
Oh, happy birthday! He's now He's now as old as the universe.
He's like 98.
Dude,
he's a little bit older than Joe Biden.
I like the fact. I like the fact that one of our presidents is older than the Queen.
Yeah.
The late Queen, I should say. Ooh,
yeah. Up top.
Ha!
Yeah. Anyway, the Trump timer went off, so we're not allowed to talk about him anymore.
That's fair.
Crazy guy, I'd say.
Yeah, clinically, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I would say.
Anyway,
you're not using hyperbole.
One of the other segments that I wanted to get to, which I will just blaze through it. All that it really is just recommending a show. So
yeah,
you know the show Community?
I've heard of it.
It's a really good show. Ran for about 6 seasons.
Nice.
And
that's one more than 5.
It is one more than 5, arguably.
Wow. And that's one less than 7.
Arguably, yes. But anyway, one of the catchphrases of the fandom.
That's 4 less than 10.
Yes. One of the catchphrases of the community
that's 14 less than 20
is hashtag 6 seasons in a movie, because one of the characters says it. And
wow.
It's a whole thing.
That's 40. That's 44 less than 50.
Stop. I'm gonna replace you as a co-host. You know who I'm gonna get? I'm going to
call a crack.
That's 2 multiplied by 3. That's 12 divided by 2.
My other sound pad page.
It's 24 divided by 4.
Shut the hell up, bitch. Go kill yourself. Go sit in the middle of the road and let a car run over you.
So anyway, are you going to let me get through this? His lip is quivering. He's crying. Bleh. That's you. That's what you sound like right now.
I have a belt. I'm not afraid to use it.
So anyway, the Community movie was just announced. It's a big deal.
It's 1 plus 5.
Shut up. So the movie was just announced.
Fuck.
It's going to be coming out sometime next year on Peacock, which
Cool.
that's the one reason I'm going to be using Peacock next year at all. But yeah, it's a good show. I would highly recommend starting it now, just so you can watch the whole thing by the time the movie comes out. I can guarantee that if you start watching the show, like, you'll fall in love with it. Like, probably by the end of the first episode, it's a good show. It's well written. Gavin has a question. He has his hand raised. Yes.
It's more of a comment.
Okay.
I would really like to see peacocks and Lake Titicaca.
Yeah, I concur. But you've watched Rick and Morty, right?
Morty, we need a fucking whatever, Morty.
Yeah, you've seen the show, right?
What?
The show Rick and. So know those Rick and Morty T-shirts? They actually made a show about the characters from those.
What? Really?
Yeah. To be fair, it takes a very high IQ to understand Rick and Morty.
Yeah, sure.
But you've seen the show, right?
Yes, Alex, I have seen Rick and Morty.
Okay, I was waiting for a straight answer. But you know how it's like half like really clever writing, good like continuity. It's half like that, and half just Justin Roiland doing funny voices and farting.
Yeah.
So
I like that. That's cool.
Imagine like the half of Rick and Morty that's like the good writing and everything, and like the good continuity. That was done by Dan Harmon, and he also created Community.
So it's like 100 minus 94.
I don't know what that is referring to, but yes.
Like 6 seasons?
And a movie now, as of next year. Anyway, I got through that despite Gavin's best efforts. Just watch Community. It's a good show. It's on Netflix. I think it's still on Hulu.
Give me a second. Hold on.
What's he doing? What's this boy doing?
So it's like 2.449489742783178 squared.
Shut the hell
for your
up,
information,
bitch. Go kill yourself. 6? Go sit in the middle of the road and let a car run over you.
I can arrange for that.
So anyway, it's a good show. Watch it. It's on Netflix.
It's
on Hulu still, probably.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm Bill Clinton.
We're about an hour in. I don't think we have time for... Well, we can quickly announce our campaign to bring back Howard Dean.
Dude, yes, please. If we can get Howard Dean on the show.
Yeah, so...
Oh, fuck.
If you don't know who Howard Dean is, Gavin brought him up like a couple months ago. And he ran for president in 2004, I believe in the Democratic primary. He didn't win, unfortunately, because he had one very unfortunate gaffe. Hold on, actually, I'm gonna pull up the full clip. So he was at a rally. He was right off like a good streak. I think in like the caucuses or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. But he was very excited, very animated, and you might recognize this clip from one of our sounds on the soundboard.
You know something? If you had told us 1 year ago that we were going to come in third in Iowa, we would have given anything for that. And you know something? Not only are we going to New Hampshire, Tom Harkin, we're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. And we're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
Yeah! Yeah, so you probably recognize that from the soundboard. It's this gem.
So refreshing. It's so refreshing.
Yeah, we were talking about...
That's what I scream when I take a cold shower.
That's what I say when I come. Last week we were talking about European drinking culture, how you go to work and they love to do this. They love to just have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so that was Howard Dean. We were we called, one of us called the other one a few nights ago, and we were like, hey, we should bring him back. Like, what's he been up to?
Yeah.
And I looked him up. I read his Wikipedia page. By the way, the Dean Scream has its own Wikipedia page.
Its own Wikipedia page.
Yeah. Then there's a photo of Howard Dean with the caption. It was something along the lines of like Howard Dean delivering his "I have a scream" speech.
Oh my
God.
God.
Great. It's very funny Wikipedia page. But anyway, apparently he had really good politics for the time. He was against the Iraq war. He wanted something with healthcare. I don't know. He was generally good, you know?
He wanted expansions for Medicare.
Yeah. Just good stuff. You know, he was like to the left of his contemporaries, I would say.
You know, there's what is to the left and what is to the right, and then what is correct.
Yeah. Just so happens that the correct aligns with the
he was correct.
The left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just good. He was a good guy. I mean, I say was. He's still around.
Yeah, he's 73, but
I think he's retired. But, you know, if you want to come out of retirement, if you want to make this is a message.
Podcast.
This is a message to Howard Dean.
Yeah,
if you want to come on our show?
Like, this is I will email you. I will find your email and I will be like, "Hey, what's up?" Like, and you know,
full disclosure, we have used the Dean Scream
a lot. We've used it quite a bit. We
make a mockery of that moment. I would have loved.
A mockery. I think
because
it's just
we
general
love you. We love you, Howard Dean. And he has a Twitter. He's active on Twitter.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think I'm gonna post this. Gonna tag him. Howard Dean at Howard Dean. Can we please interview you? It's actually
awesome. Actually though.
It's actually a very interesting story what happened to you, because
I would really like to pick your brain.
You were on a roll, and
you were.
Then you said this, and everyone lost their mind. And I really want to pick your brain about that.
Well, and then as a turn of irony, a dude says, "Yeah, grab him by the pussy," and becomes the president of the United States.
Yeah, and then he attempted a coup d'état.
Yeah.
And we expect that from presidents now. Well, but you can't say this. You can't say that in 2004.
And then another president said, poor kids are just as smart as white kids. Yeah. And he gets elected.
Yeah, we got our current president saying this.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Yeah. But no, you can't yell an enthusiastic yeah.
Or saying that America can be summed up in one word.
Yeah. Yeah, let me
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him excuse me.
Yeah,
can you imagine if Howard Dean did that?
The president can say that, but not this.
I'm not hearing it. Are you hearing it?
Yeah, it wasn't picked up by the noise gate. It played.
Okay. Yeah, but anyway, Howard Dean, come on, bro. Come on.
We love you, Howard Dean.
We really
please come on the show.
All actual jokes aside, we in fact adore you.
History would have been better with you in office.
In office. Yeah, I mean, imagine it like 1 year, one term of Bush, and then people were like, "Yeah, no." And then it's Howard Dean, and he's just like, "Yeah, let's not go into massive $1 trillion debts for a war that's not going to pay us any dividends."
Right. Yeah. I mean, financials aside, the war was just bad because it killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Flat out. That's bad, actually.
It's in fact bad.
Yeah. And you were one of the surprisingly few people back then saying that.
You were one of the you were one of the people who were like, "Yeah, I don't want to send our boys to die in war because I don't think it's justified." And people were like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
And this is my reaction.
I think nowadays, especially now because hindsight is 2020, that's all of our reactions now, I think.
Anyway, I don't know what Twitter's upload limits are, but Howard Dean, please.
Howard Dean,
just make a cameo.
Yes.
Not like the website, not like the thing you pay for. Just have your voice be on our podcast.
Howard Dean, please.
It would be really cash money of you.
It would actually be an honor for us to have you on the show.
It would be great.
like to have a piece of American history.
That would
on
be
our
awesome.
show would be amazing. A dude who has become relatively close to the biggest seat of power.
You would be right up there with Jamie Donnelly in terms of guests that we've had. That meaning you would be one of our 2 guests, including
I was so nervous.
Dude, that was a great one.
I was like, whew.
If I could do that over again with my current podcasting skills,
did she like me?
I think so.
That's cool.
I didn't ask her.
Oh.
I haven't
Do you have her phone number? I'll call her.
I do actually.
Did you like me? Did you like me?
I do actually, assuming she hasn't changed it since then.
Yeah.
I think we're also friends on Facebook.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so you watched She-Hulk recently.
Oh, yeah. Also, I want to step back on what I said. Thank you for reminding me. For all of you motherfuckers who are shitting on She-Hulk, myself included, go fuck yourself. It's a good show. It's a really, really good show. I recently just binged watched it. By recently, I mean about a week ago.
Yeah. We're recording on Wednesday, October 5th.
I watched it on Friday, Friday.
Yeah, so I think there are still 2 episodes left in the season. Is there? It's I think it's 9 episodes this season. Usually it's like 6.
Oh. Anyway, for those of you who are like, it goes too much into gender politics. The whole thing between her and her coworker is just that her coworker is a dick. It's not that he just happens. It's not that he's a guy. It's that he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, it's just like he's a misogynist, and like some people, it turns out, some people are misogynists, and you're allowed to write about that. You're allowed to write that because that's a lot of people's lived experiences.
And I'm not saying that you, the listener, because you disagree with this show, are therefore a misogynist. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you need to look at it through a different lens in the sense that, like, yeah, some guys are misogynistic.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people just have a problem with seeing a perspective that isn't their own. Like, from a lot of women's perspectives, that's a common thing. Dealing with men that don't, like, value their input.
Yeah.
And dealing with men who just are pigs. Like, that's a lot of people's experiences, but because so many people are just used to, like, Marvel being written by just white men, fucking Joss Whedon types, like, they're just so used to this narrow worldview that they can't accept anything that deviates slightly from it.
And second point here, the whole dynamic between her and Bruce Banner, it's not that they're having a gender fight over which gender is better.
Yeah.
It's that they're that's kind of like she kind of just says that, but like also the reason she feels comfortable saying that is because he's her cousin.
Yeah.
It's a family dynamic thing.
Yeah, it's like a family rivalry.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's going on there. It's not battle of the sexes.
Exactly. And like, yeah.
And there are legitimate issues that if you want to bring up. Like, I personally, like, if you are one of these, you know, right-wing chuds, one of these misogynists that only has a problem with it because she's a woman, like, don't take this as me siding with you, because I am not. But I didn't like the moment where she's like, I control my anger infinitely better than you, Bruce. I didn't like that just because it kind of spits in the face of the Hulk's entire character. But you know, it's
also their cousins.
Yeah, also they're cousins. Also, she's not like the final form of her character. Like, she's allowed to have flaws.
Also, humans have this general flaw, right? Not gendered thing, just a general flaw. It's called hubris.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can be like, yeah, I know how to do this.
Yeah, I mean, some people have accused me of having hubris. I mean, I haven't, but, you know, I imagine someday I will. That was a joke. That was a joke, okay, listener?
Anyway, my favorite scene, though, in that was when, I forget exactly what the context was around it, but the Hulk Bruce Banner pushes, in Hulk form, pushes her off a cliff.
Yeah, that was funny.
As she's falling, she flips him up. That was just funny.
Yeah.
That was just, I liked that. That was just funny.
Cousin rivalry stuff. And also, they're both Hulks, so it's okay.
Yeah, also they're both Hulks. But I feel like at the end of that interaction where she's like leaving the island to be a lawyer again and doing that stuff again. I like how like they kind of touch bases again in terms of like, okay, I see where you're coming from. Okay, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Where Bruce Banner is just trying to say, listen, I'm the only one who can identify with you right now.
Yeah, I'm trying
at this capacity.
Yeah, by the way, I'm trying to find a video that I watched that actually talked about kind of what we're talking about. So Pillar of Garbage, a YouTube channel, made a video responding to the Critical Drinkers She-Hulk video. Highly recommended. I think it's their most recent video. Pillar of Garbage on YouTube. Look it up. Probably link in description.
Yeah, that's what I call my dick.
Yeah.
Anyway. I just like that scene where they're like, she's getting in the Jeep and she's like, okay, I see ya. And he's like, yeah, just listen, I'm the only one who can identify with you. Door's always open if you need help. Like, I'm here for you. And she's like, thank you. I get it. I'm still learning how to deal with the Hulk thing. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do my best. Right.
Yeah.
And she does, as I see. I think she does try to make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah. Well, also, she has room to grow in the first episode of the series. By the way, people were making videos trashing She-Hulk after the first episode came out. What I'm talking about mostly is the Critical Drinker video.
Yeah.
And I just want to air one complaint about just the general like vibe of She-Hulk criticism from people, like, I don't want to say on the right because I don't want to make it like a political spectrum thing, but it happens to be people on the right that say this. They simultaneously complain that female characters are like flawless Mary Sues, but then they complain about their character flaws. So like,
yeah,
the Critical Drinker specifically said Jennifer Walters has no flaws. Has no character flaws. She's just supposed to be this perfect individual. But then he picks out things that are character flaws and calls them bad writing. And like, how much more obvious could it get that this is bad faith criticism?
Exactly. Well, also, I want to point out something. I hate to say like a bit more scientific, but in support of
actually, mermaids can't be black.
No, it's just in the way that the Hulk was trying to figure his cousin out after she had become Hulkified, if you will.
Right.
So like she was showing very clear competency in being able to control her anger and control herself in Hulk form.
Yeah.
And you can see Bruce Banner in Hulk form really being super fucking cautious and really like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And I want to defend one thing, which is that I don't think that was a gendered thing in the sense that he didn't trust that she could control herself.
Yeah, it was a Hulk thing.
It was very much a scientific thing because he doesn't know what he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, to call back to our last episode, think of how he was in The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Like all he's trying to do is just supply what he needed back then. Exactly.
And I will say though, when they're doing the meditation and she shows that she can just like turn into Hulk form and it's fine and she's fine and everything's cool. And when he's like, he has his binder of like, this is going to take you a year, 15 years to do. And he's like, well, I guess we can rip that out. And he rips it out. I feel like he gave her a little bit too much stank on that one. I feel like he should have just been like, I stand corrected. Okay.
Hey, you know what?
See now.
I would be a little pissed too. I would be I'd be a little bit like, I'm good for you,
also,
but I'm a little jealous.
He's allowed to cousins, so I kind of get the rivalry there.
Yeah, I think he's allowed to be a little jealous.
Right.
Considering everything he has gone through for the past 15 years.
Yeah, but I want to say that I appreciated the clash. I really did appreciate it because you see Bruce Banner as not only a cousin but also a scientist, right?
Yeah.
Like not only like a slightly jealous cousin, but also a slightly jealous cousin scientist who is trying to make sure his cousin's fine and having a little bit of fun too. But like,
yeah,
trying to make sure his cousin's all right while being scientifically cautious while his cousin is getting pissed off because she thinks he's undermining her.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? Which gives us a very interesting view into like gender dynamics for that matter, right? Like, yeah, women a lot of the times are just undermined in their professional experiences.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like CRT and communism.
No,
that sounds like bad writing and Mary Sue.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Women aren't allowed to have complex characters. That's my impression of people that watch The Critical Drinker.
Yeah. I do think, however, that the Wall of Saws, Bruce Banner, little much.
Hey, you know what? If she was uncontrollable, like he was, also they're both Hulks. Like it's not going to do anything against her.
Like she's not like, I'm not sure if she's yet fully hulking out, if you will.
Yeah. But to use a scientific term.
I don't know what to call it. I've not been given terms yet. But even when she was like controlled, it seemed pretty easy for her to break out.
Oh yeah.
Like he would have been fucked if she'd broken out.
Yeah. So maybe the Wall of Saws isn't a little much. Maybe it's a little not enough.
Give her a little electrical shock first and see how that goes. You say kill her?
Yeah.
Fucking dick. You're too dangerous to be left alive. Boom.
It's not the Jedi way.
But no, I really respect the fact that it's going from actually I really respect the writing and in the terms of like how would legally how would superheroes work out. And I love that they have a clearly very competent female lead role.
Yeah. I like Wong in the show. I like the episode where he like steps in, has to explain that he took Emil Blonsky out of jail, and then he was like, I don't see what the problem is. I put him back.
I like that she constantly breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And she's just like, no, she like will literally be in the middle of dialogue and look at the camera and be like, okay, I get you guys, like, I'm kind of a second here, like I'm kind of taking second place to Wong, but this is my show. So like I think that was really funny.
That kind of stuff, it can be a little annoying at times, it can feel like you're just lampshading. But I will say, Deadpool does that. Like, that's his whole character.
All the time!
Deadpool does that all the time.
Constantly.
And, like, I can't think of a specific example of someone complaining about She-Hulk doing that. But just to get ahead of it, if you complain about She-Hulk doing that, like, there better be record of you saying that same thing about Deadpool.
I hope there is.
Like, 2016, there better be a recording of you saying, I don't like that Deadpool is breaking the fourth wall and talking to the audience. And also he's a Mary Sue. And he doesn't have flaws, but he has too many flaws.
Yeah.
I also want to point out the Weekly Planet they make up stuff and they have a person that makes posters based on what they say on just stuff they riff on the show. And someone, the guy that makes the Weekly Planet posters made a poster for She-Hulk, and I'll send you the link to this so you can see it. I'll send it to stuff we send during the show.
Yeah.
But click this link to this tweet. It's basically just the She-Hulk poster, but it says, "Sorry, incels, not all content is made for you." It's funny. It was a good riff. It makes a good poster. And people...
Where is it? Shit we send during the show.
It's stuff we send during the show.
Found it.
Yeah, you got it. You see it?
I got it.
Yeah. It's good. It's funny.
Yeah, that's good.
Guess what?
What?
Incels Online thought it was real.
Lost. Did they lose their fucking shit?
They lost their shit because they thought that this was official marketing for the show.
No, it's not.
They've lost the plot.
You know one thing I did find interesting though?
What?
When she goes on a dating app and someone else is taking the She-Hulk name and blah 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 blah. Have you seen that episode? I'm not sure if you are caught up with it.
Yeah, I'm caught up.
Okay. And that one guy who she was like very much into wasn't into her when she was in normal human form.
Yeah, even though she's like still kind of cute.
Yeah, she's a cutie. I like her. Respectfully.
Yeah. I think it's weird that when she goes She-Hulk, it straightens her hair.
Yeah, I found that a lot. I was like,
her hair is longer, straightened, and styled.
Yeah,
it's kind of like how in Twilight, when you become a vampire, it just makes you objectively hot.
It just makes you an Abercrombie and Finch model.
Yeah,
exactly. I took that from Vampire Suck, but anyway, okay. So I want you to do something real quick, Alex. Look up on Google Orion Syndicate.
All right, Orion.
Star Trek Orion Syndicate.
All right, images. Yo, I'm bricked up,
Alex.
I'm bricked up.
You see my? So I'm not. So, for those of you who don't know what I'm referencing, in Star Trek, there's a syndicate, which is like a pirating thing. I don't really know how to call it.
It's a syndicate.
It's a syndicate.
It's like some kind of a syndicate.
There's a syndicate of green-skinned, black-haired aliens that are like pirates who work for a syndicate.
Yeah, some of them are kind of hot.
Yeah, they look exactly like She-Hulk, except human-sized.
It's great.
I just thought I'd point that out. Anyway, next.
Yeah, I came. I saw the. I hate how many sound pad pages I have. I saw it and I said this.
I'm gonna come.
Wow, Alex, I'm surprised.
Yeah. Anyway, that's great.
Anyway, for those of you who don't like She-Hulk, I would, and I'm not like there are people who can have legit reasons that they don't like She-Hulk. I get it. It's fine. Different strokes for different folks. But for those of you who like are giving it undue haste, like unneeded like haste, check yourself before you wreck yourself. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, just don't be sexist.
And also, just because someone has an issue that's being exemplified in a TV show doesn't mean that you don't have issues.
Yeah.
It's not a critique on your life.
Yeah. Yeah, like people get mad at the show for having a character who is a misogynist, and they're like, well, they're saying that all men are this. Not every character. This might be like media literacy 101.
It's like, I'm sorry, are you every man?
I feel like this doesn't need to be explained, but here I am explaining it. Any given character is not meant to represent every one of whatever it is. Every male character is not meant to represent every male person.
Male.
Like I shouldn't have to explain that.
I feel like I shouldn't have to either. And I feel bad. Like, I really do feel, honestly, a little bad because I was giving She-Hulk a lot of shit just based on what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, from what I remember, to be fair to you, you weren't saying too many bad things, just kind of a passive, like, hey, it's bad show or whatever.
I have learned to not judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
And I watched this, and I'm a person who's particularly interested in law, I'm particularly interested in politics, and particularly interested in like dynamics like this.
Yeah, I like superheroes.
That's cool. So this show, I was not only pleasantly surprised by how much it wasn't what people were saying it was, but also by how intricate it was.
Yeah.
With other topics that didn't even really pertain to superheroes.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, like I said last week, I wouldn't mind a show that is fully just a court procedural.
Yeah.
Like within the MCU.
Alex, when we're on the phone, I think it would be really cool to have like a how the office in Loki, when he's like in that office with the
TVA.
Yeah. I think it would be cool if it was like one of those like TVA offices. But not an actual literal TV, like an office that looks like that with that kind of vibe, but with all the superhero shit.
Yeah. Yeah, just like a really mundane environment, but they're dealing with like law surrounding like these extraordinary like gods.
Exactly. Because I think about it like...
Because it's kind of funny. There's like a juxtaposition there.
I can imagine She-Hulk and Daredevil going to the US government and being like, hey, we need a special sector for this kind of law. And them saying... you are citizens, but we're not going to give you special treatment because you're superheroes. So we're going to give you what we can, and that happens to be this winky-dink office down in California.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think that would be a great show.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I fully agree with that. I'm still lobbying. I will be lobbying for a Wong Madison series.
Okay.
I just want to, I don't know, even if it's just them watching The Sopranos together.
That wasn't a judgment. Oh, yeah, no, her? Yeah, no, I would like to see that.
Yeah.
No, so I didn't realize that's what you were referencing. So I'm bad with names, so whenever you're like...
Madison
Wong,
with a Y and two N's, but not
and
where you think it is.
They are. I want to mention, as a former pharmacy technician, how much I not only related to that, but was equally infuriated by.
Yeah, explain.
So, if you don't know, pharmacy technicians have a certain burden of proof that we have to prove into the computer that the person who's picking up their meds is the person who's picking up the meds. Mm-hmm. So you need to know, and it's not even that hard to fake who you are. Anyway, so you
maybe don't advertise that.
Well, it's not my job. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, if you want to do fraud, it's surprisingly
it's pretty easy. It actually is. Anyway.
So frighteningly so, apparently.
Really, actually. But we need at least where I worked, we needed the first 3 letters of the first name and the first 3 letters of the last name and then the date of birth, right? Now, when you have a name like Madison, that's
with a Y
common...
and 2 N's.
Right, but if you just say Madison with a Y and 2 N's, I will assume it's like MADYSONN, right?
Something like that.
Right? Is that logical? I think that, and also I'm dyslexic, so go fuck all y'all. So, when I heard that, I was like, you have the right to be called whatever you're called, but fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, especially, okay, also Eddie Allens who are listening to this podcast, go fuck yourself. No, because Allen is such a easy sounding name to spell. Phonetically, it's just yeah, it's Allen. But there are 5 different ways to spell Allen. I have gone through the mathematics with this. It's ALAN, ALLAN.
My name's Allen with a Y and 2 N's, but not where you think they are.
Maybe the Second Amendment was a good idea.
Anyway, I want to close out the She-Hulk segment with my favorite Wong moment. I just liked when he was being questioned, and they were like, "Yeah, so what about this other illegal thing you did?" I don't remember what it was, but he was like, "I must depart," and then he opened a portal and walked out. That was great. I liked that.
I did.
That was fun.
I really liked the court scene where they have the what is it, the elf from Asgard who is pretending to be...
it's a light elf.
A light elf pretending to be Megan Thee Stallion, right?
Yeah.
And she's just like, you don't understand. In Asgard, we have these powers and blah, 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 blah. And the judge is like, overruled. You're in the jurisdiction of the United States of America, not Asgard.
Asgard isn't a place. It's a people.
Oh, yeah, that was the whole thing.
Thor's inspirational speeches aren't admissible in court.
I like that you know the scene better than I do. Thank you. I just really liked that because it's that's a very good point. Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, that was great.
It's a very fair point. I agree with that.
Yeah, see, I want a whole show that's just like that. I'm glad that we're getting all this stuff with She-Hulk's character and all that. I just hope if they do a second season, it's just law procedural stuff like that.
I would really
but every week is a new case and they just have to navigate it. He's checking his phone. What's going on?
Oh, Iran is doing some shitty shit, but it's Iran, so I'm not surprised. But also, everyone in Iran who's protesting, I'm so proud of you. I wouldn't say thank you because I'm not really personally benefiting. But
good on you.
Good on you, because the bravery it takes to stand up to bullies is immense. So
yeah, I don't know what exactly is going on. They're overthrowing their government or something. I don't.
Can I explain it real? Give me 30. Give me a minute.
I will give you a minute. Starting now.
apologies because I don't know the exact specifics, but a lady in Iran decided not to wear, or was not wearing a hijab correctly according to their modesty or like their moral police, and so the moral police beat her to death. And so now everyone in Iran, all the women at least, are, and I guess a lot of men too, are protesting the government, which the government is responding by saying it's a Jewish lie. So,
what? It's a Jewish lie that they beat someone to death? Or what?
Let me explain this. So Iran doesn't have a really
28 seconds.
Oh fuck! Iran doesn't have a really great relationship. I think either it's not with Jerusalem, but it's with what's that one Jewish country?
Israel.
Israel. They don't have a very good relationship with Israel, and so whenever something shitty happens, to avoid responsibility, they just say it's a Jewish lie, and then they deny the Holocaust.
It's not like. I don't want to say it's funny that they do that. Timer's done. I don't want to say it's funny that they do that, but like,
I mean, come on!
Just taking it out of historical context, just like we've talked about with the Confederacy, it's just so funny, the idea of like one country not liking another country, and then every time something bad about them comes out, they just be like, these fucking liars over here.
But also for like a notoriously shitty country like Iran, to be like, to just do something shitty and then like dig a hole even further by saying something even shittier.
Yeah.
While also thinking that will help.
Exactly. Anyway, we're not allowed to talk about Iran anymore. The timer went off.
Okay.
So anyway, She-Hulk. It's good. It's better than
good.
most of the other Marvel shows, I would say.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say so.
Anyway, we got through all of our segments. No, I don't know about you, but I watched a TV special this week.
I have watched a TV special.
So he turned off his camera.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to get back here. Okay.
So anyway, this week we watched Scary Godmother. I
actually did watch it.
Yeah, neither of us had
YouTube.
time to get to the second one. I think here's what the plan is. We'll do the second one next year. Because like it comes out a year after the first one anyway. So
yeah,
why not?
I will say, so it's funny because it's like a 45 minute long movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it on YouTube at double the speed.
You watched it double speed?
So really, it was only about 22 and a half minutes.
It
was pretty cool. And the cool thing is the retention's there. I retained all of it.
Yeah. For some reason, everyone talked fast.
So they're all like,
I liked it. It was good. I think it like has held up a lot. Like it's pretty much how I remembered it from my childhood. Even better, I would say, because I get more of the jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you said earlier it's definitely aged.
I would say so, especially at the beginning. Although I think, I learned recently that it's actually a movie based off a kid's book.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I get their artistic style if they're being inspired by a kid's book. That makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah. That being said, though, just looking at like the opening like shot,
very Uncanny Valley.
Look at the walking animation. There's there's some like Flash game level animation there.
Well, no, their torsos don't even move.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
it's
like
kind of
torso is like completely like it's floating there.
They look like they look like Facebook Horizon avatars.
Yeah. It's really funny. Plots I like how I really love the lengths that Fairy Godmother goes to make sure that Hannah has a good time.
Yeah, it's nice.
I like it's very wholesome and it reminds me of a time when, hot ladies would care about me.
Yeah.
When I was a toddler.
Yeah. It's just nice.
Yeah.
It's just a nice program. It's like
You need to say program?
Yeah, program.
I said robot.
Robot. Anyway, it's a nice program. I think I said this last week, but it's like seeing a good friend, seeing an old friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it really captures that like
inside.
holiday party feel.
I hate to say this. I really hate to say this though. I feel like I have watched the Scary Godmother somewhere.
You what?
I feel like I've watched the character of the Scary Godmother somewhere.
What do you mean?
Boom.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, did you hear that Cartoon Network actually put out 34 rules regarding Halloween specials that air on the network? If you don't believe me, Google Scary Godmother Rule 34.
I'm gonna fucking snipe you from a helicopter. I swear to
There's
fucking
definitely a
don't do
lot
that.
of Rule 34.
You know why I need to
Godmother.
elaborate now. You've got me going. You know why I don't do that, Alex? Because over
Why?
the 22 years of my life that I have had people just slowly chip away at the innocence that I used to have. Slowly. You know, that comfort that you get where you're like, everything's okay. It's
Makes me
gonna
feel
be
like
okay.
this.
That comfort that you have when you're like, you know, there are some things that are still sacred in this world.
Yeah.
You know? And then people like you come along.
Look, if I could just speak for myself, I would say, my bad. Oops.
I watch Scary
Shit.
Godmother and I think, you know, I remember watching this in the basement of my house when I was a kid, when Halloween was coming, and I remember thinking, oh, I didn't know it was called Scary Godmother at the time, but I was like, oh, the Halloween movie's on. It must be Halloween coming up.
Yeah.
Because you're a kid, you don't know what October is.
Oh yeah, I looked forward to this every year.
Like, that's how you know.
I think there was one year that I like missed it when it aired, and I was like devastated that year. I was like,
no,
I did not have a
funny.
Halloween without this program.
It's every single time you say that. It's funny because when I was a kid, at least, because you know I'm only moderately like older than you are.
Yeah.
But like they would just run it when they would have time.
Yeah.
To burn, right? And they would just play it, and so it'd be like 4:00 in the PMs, and I would get home from school, flip on the tunes, and there was Scary Godmother, right? And then I would be like, oh shit, Halloween's coming up.
Yeah. Makes me say
right?
this.
That's how you know. And it like gave you that warm, like that Halloween feeling in your chest when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, I get to dress up and get candy.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking dope.
Dude, Halloween is
right?
awesome.
It's awesome. And that and Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Yeah, which if we have time, we got to cover that one. I don't know if it's on anything,
cover that.
actually.
We're going to cover that.
Yeah, we got to cover it.
But
I like all the characters. I like how they all feel very distinct from each other. Like,
exactly.
Like they all have great personalities. I like the skeleton in the closet. I never understood that joke when I was a kid.
I like the big monster guy who's like
Bugaboo.
Who Hannah's originally like terrified of.
Yeah.
And she eventually gets to know him, and he turns out to just be a cool dude.
Yeah, he's
just working a job. That's just what he like. That's his job.
He's a very blue collar kind of guy.
You know, I imagine he does that job because he loves it, and the benefits aren't great. He's a part of a monster union.
Yeah, I'm really curious how the monster economy works, because they clearly have money, and like one of them has a job.
One of them clearly is employed by Halloween situation.
I think Scary Godmother runs a successful Etsy shop. That's my personal headcanon for her. But I don't know about the others. I don't know where they get their income. Harry definitely is unemployed.
Are you sure, Alex, are you sure there's like something else that Scary Mother does that maybe it's like only particularly for people who really, really enjoy her? Maybe...
No, they actually made 34 rules about why she can't do that. And Google Scary Godmother Rule 34.
Like something only for like fans or something?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Only for her fans?
I don't know. I like to think the rest of the year she's just Miss Frizzle.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Conspiracy theory. Turns out that Hannah is just like one of her students' like younger sister.
Yeah.
Right? And she just happens about this little girl, and she's just like, oh, well, we have to do something about this.
Yeah. We got to bring some Halloween cheer.
Come on. And I love that, like, I love how Scary Godmother is, like, just cruising around with the vampires and skeletons and werewolves, like an adult, like your mom would do, right?
Yeah.
At a Halloween party. And Hannah's just there. And eventually she sees that Hannah's not having like a spectacular time, is a little bored.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, guys, huddle up. We're going to figure this out.
Yeah. That's great. She's just such a great host. She's great.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. I want to point out, Harry ordered 12 pizzas, and there's like, I counted, like, just off the top of my head, there's about 8 people there. I just wanted to point out that does not average out very economically.
Hang on. So 12 pizzas. There were 8 people there.
Roughly.
Assuming how many slices in each pizza?
I don't know.
Can we assume 10?
Sure.
Just make this shit metric. So 10 times 12 is 180.
Well, it's over. It's like
120. I'm a fucking idiot. And that's obvious.
It's like 1.5 pizzas per person.
So each person would have to have 15 slices.
Each person gets a pizza and a half.
Yeah, actually, though.
Like, Harry, just order like 3 pizzas.
You know what, Alex? Fuck you. I'm going to eat a pizza and a half.
You know what? It's great. He's a
me.
bro. He's a bro. He's keeping everyone covered.
You know, I bet he ordered 12 pizzas because I bet after Hannah left, they didn't stop partying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The party goes all night long.
Like, yeah. But this time they brought, like, Irish car bombs.
Jesus.
Not like the drink, not the literal Irish car bomb.
I didn't know that was a drink. That's cool.
It is. It's Guinness with, I think, Bailey's Irish cream in it.
Yeah.
I hear it's good. Anyway, no, they just joined the IRA and they decided to start, they just decided to terrorize the community until Ireland gets its independence from England.
Based. That's awesome. That's great. Anyway.
He really just out of the blue.
I like,
It would explain why Fairy Godmother is a redhead.
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
She's just super Irish. But
anyway.
but just not from North Ireland, but from Ireland because they don't call it South Ireland.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. They're not even willing to play that game, and I love it.
That's great.
But no, the IRA is a terrorist organization.
Yeah. Anyway, we watched Scary Godmother this week.
We did, and that's cinema. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I like that they commit to how goofy it is. Like, it does not take itself seriously for a moment.
No, not at all.
I like how goofy the vampires are. Those are real vampires, not like Twilight vampires. Okay,
yeah,
they have to be invited into the house. They can't eat garlic. They do the mind control thing with their eyes.
For sure.
They say, I want to suck your blood.
I like that Hannah's basically in that house for a good 2 hours, probably. I just assume.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Let's just, I know that the movie's only 45 minutes, but
well, yeah, it doesn't take place in real time. A lot of it is montages.
Right. And so I like how in that situation, all these, tweens are none of them are maybe we should get an adult.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I wanted to point out, they throw her in there to, scare her, make her want to go home, I guess. Because they're
breaking an entry, but beyond that.
Yeah, well, it's abandoned. I don't know. Maybe they
still breaking an entry.
Maybe they live in a lawless land. I don't know. But they're like, oh, the baby's gonna slow us down. We better, trick her into going home so we can trick or treat faster. Then they spend the entire night waiting for her to come out.
Yeah.
They spend a number of hours waiting for her.
Turns out them breaking into this house isn't illegal because the Scary Godmother universe happens in the same universe as Mad Max Fury Road. So yeah, same universe.
I was gonna say something, but I don't remember. I want to point out that costume that the kid has, the SUV. It's a good costume.
Yeah,
he doesn't get enough credit for it. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
I love the laser cannon.
Is that a reference?
I don't know. I think it's just a cool thing. Yeah, that's all. And that's all she wrote. Oh, it didn't get picked up by the noise gate. Hold on. Yeah. I don't know why it's not getting picked up.
That's all I needed,
I know
Alex.
why, because I have my noise gate set to automatic. There.
There you go. Back to normal.
Now it's transmitting the whole thing. I was wondering why it wasn't like working all the way. So anyway,
Howard Dean, join the show. Howard Dean, join the show.
Howard Dean, please join the show. Anyway, I would say best movie ever, best TV program ever.
Best movie. You know, I'm disappointed that no one in this program dressed up like a robot.
Quite a missed opportunity.
Quite good cinema, I'd say.
Yeah, I like the shadow puppets.
Quite a nice talkie.
I think those really put it above and beyond. I would say that this is the best TV program that we've covered on this show up to this point.
Every time you say that.
Out of all of the one TV programs that we've covered, this is definitely number one.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, next week we're continuing our Halloween streak. And Gavin has thus far not inputted any ideas for Halloween movies.
Any movie.
Which is okay. Because I got it all planned out. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to, slot in whatever you want.
You want something scary, Alex?
Look in the mirror, am I right? He's giving me the death stare.
How dare you? I think the program we should watch next is Chernobyl.
Oh, is it that serious documentary about this this horrific disaster that happened?
Nuclear disaster is a horror that we have yet to discover in the States.
Much like Schindler's List, I would say.
3 Mile Island, that's different though.
Much like Schindler's List, I would say the events are horrific, but I would not call it horror.
Oh, I would not call it a Halloween movie.
Yeah, I would not call Chernobyl a Halloween-related thing. So anyway, next week we're gonna review Fear Street Part 1. It's on Netflix.
I can't wait to not watch it.
Yeah, I can't wait to call you the day of the show and be like, "Did you watch it?" And you're gonna be like, "We're watching Avatar, right?" We're watching Vampire Suck, right?
No, Vampires Suck, right? And it was totally my idea to watch Avatar.
Yeah.
I was like, let's watch Avatar. Yeah. And then we got on next time. We were like, yeah, Vampires Suck, right? And the funny thing is, I put money into it. Like, I rented it on Apple TV, thinking in full confidence.
It's on Disney Plus. He's giving me the death stare. His smile has disappeared.
Fucking kidding me, right?
Nope. Also, now I have it on Plex. I bought the Blu-ray.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Vampire Suck?
No, Avatar. Oh, you rented it on... You rented Vampire Suck?
On Apple TV, yeah.
I had it on Plex. I have the DVD.
Of Vampire Suck?
Of Vampire Suck, yeah.
That's cool. Thank you.
I gave you that information. So anyway, next week, Fear Street Part 1. It's a great movie. It's... I feel like children's horror is kind of selling it short, but it's like, the kind of like scary movie that you can like watch with a younger kid and like it won't traumatize them.
Yeah,
but, like,
it's a very family friendly movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like give it this pee-wee ass image, but it is like, it's something that you can watch with like a younger sibling. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
like it's like PG-13 horror.
It's a very good program.
It's a good program. It's still scary. It's written well. So I fully suggest watching it if you still have Netflix up to this point.
You know what we should watch?
What?
iRobot.
iRobot. It's a good program.
It's a great program.
It's a great program.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's a good program. iRobot.
Stupid.
Anyway, before we get to recommendations of the week, I just saw this trailer like minutes before recording. So you probably won't be familiar with this, but there's a new movie coming out, I think December 2nd of this year, and we got to cover this one when we get to Christmas. So it's called Violent Night. Are you
have you seen Bad Santa?
I haven't. Are you familiar with Santa's sleigh? Sleigh being spelled S-L-A-Y.
No.
So Santa's sleigh, which is another great one that is definitely a contender for covering coming up towards December. It's a movie starring an ex-pro wrestler.
You're going to be so pissed at me when you listen to this audio.
Oh no.
Continue.
Oh no. I knew you fucked it up.
I didn't touch anything. I feel it.
You feel it.
I just feel it.
Anyway, Santa's Sleigh is a movie starring an ex-pro wrestler as Santa Claus. But in this adaptation, Santa is like Satan.
Is it Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
He's like Satan's avatar. It's not The Rock. It came out in like 2005.
John Cena.
It's not John Cena.
Is it?
It's like something like Goldberg or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's not important who stars as Santa. So he's like Satan's avatar or something. And it's basically Santa goes on a killing spree, and this kid in this like town called Hell or whatever has to stop him. It's a great movie. So it takes
place in Hell, Michigan?
I don't think it's Hell, Michigan, but it's something along those lines. It's a great movie.
Cool.
And this appears to be in the same vein. So Violent Night has David Harbour starring as Santa. And I guess there's like this family, this rich family, their house gets broken into by some people trying to rob them. And one of the kids is on Santa's nice list. So Santa's like, okay, well, I gotta kill these guys. I gotta kill these guys and save the kid on the nice list. And it feels like a parody. Like it feels like a really funny concept, and it's even greater that it's like that's just what the movie is. Like it commits to that premise fully, and I love it. I have the trailer linked in the show notes. You should definitely watch it when we're done.
We should watch 8-Bit Christmas.
We should watch 8-Bit. I was thinking it would be funny if we actually covered 8-Bit Christmas this year.
Oh, yeah, it just turns out like I forgot.
Just to kind of like close out the meme, give some closure.
I've watched it.
Yeah, I liked the characters and the direction, and
I really loved the plot.
I liked it when people did
very
stuff.
Dynamic.
It's definitely a movie. Really... It's a program. Let me tell you. So anyway, you want to get to recommendations of the week?
Technically, the NES is a robot, so...
Technically.
Yeah, let's get into recommendations.
Yeah, so anyway, I have a couple of recommendations. Oh, first, I want to plug the Discord, which I mentioned last episode. The Discord server is public. Join it if you want. The rules are, I'm Supreme Dictator. There are no specific guidelines yet, other than if you break TOS or do something bad, I don't know, something will happen to you. I don't know. Also,
we'll send you to the principal's office.
Yeah. Also, I have to mention the Patreon, $1 a month. You get early access to episodes as well as updates on projects that I'm working on. I watched the second Shirley Temple movie, and I just got to record my review for it, and that'll be up on Patreon. I'm hoping to have the full video ready by April 1st of next year.
So, I actually have a recommendation.
Oh, awesome!
This time, I would like to recommend my TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, did you actually start posting on TikTok?
No, I'm joking.
Oh.
I'm completely joking.
That was cruel.
I know. Were you actually legitimately excited there for a second?
I was.
Aww.
I was. Anyway. Do you know the YouTube channel Salmonella Academy?
Sure.
You don't. I mean, it's
no.
It's okay. It's okay. You can be honest. But anyway, they do. Man. It's this guy who does like MS Paint animation style, like videos talking about like historical like stories and stuff like that. It's cool stuff. Talks about interesting historical figures, just weird ass stuff that happened in history. And he hasn't posted in 2 years, but he just uploaded a new video. It's titled "Where Animals' Scientific Names Come From." Talks about how like there's a beetle named after Hitler or something like that. Like a lot of people.
Did the Nazis discover a beetle?
I guess. I don't know.
Has no one been like, hey, maybe we should change that?
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, yeah, it's great. New video just dropped, and it's only, well, this one is 9 minutes 41 seconds, but they're all like 5 to 10 minutes each. So really, really bite-sized stuff. It's good. And another YouTube channel that Gavin, I think you watched the video that I sent you from HealthyGamerGG, the one about like ADHD.
Yeah, that was actually incredibly informative.
Yeah, so this guy, HealthyGamerGG on YouTube, he's like a doctor. I think he's
and not like the Jordan Peterson type doctor.
Yeah, not like doctor of literature or something like that. He's like a medical doctor. I think he specializes in like psychology or something. I don't know, but he talks about a lot about like, you know, like really relatable stuff because he's also like a gamer. He talks about stuff that like a lot of like kind of like gamer guys can relate to, you know. Talks about
he's
like
a cool kid.
Talks a lot about like ADHD and, you know, stuff like that. I guess his most popular video is why gifted kids are actually special needs, talking about like, you know, how, if you were a gifted kid in school, like you kind of got a different set of tools in your tool belt.
Skills. Yeah.
You get like a different like set of skills that you develop as like a quote unquote gifted kid than someone like a normal student would. And he basically talks about how like he mentioned in his newest video, or not his newest video, the one that I sent you, it was something ADHD and whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't narrow it down a lot. But he talked about
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he talked about what was it? It was
he talked about my my massive penis.
Yeah, he talked about Gavin's massive penis. I'm trying to see if I can find it in the chat, which I
could hear our audience laughing at that incredibly funny joke.
That is very funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, he talked in the video that I sent Gavin, he talked about how like kids with, I think he was talking about undiagnosed ADHD. Like if you're like a smart kid, you would like not be paying attention in class, and the teacher would be like, hey, your name, what's the answer to this question on the board? And then like if you're like if you're like a smart kid with ADHD, even though you're not paying attention, you can kind of just work out the problem quickly, answer the problem, and look like you are paying attention.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're not. You're just falling through the cracks. You're looking like you are paying attention, but you're not, and you're not receiving the help that you need. Talks about that. I really wish I could remember how exactly he compensatory mechanisms. That's what he called it.
Yeah,
compensatory mechanisms. Which I can really relate to, because like I was good at math in school, but I was shit at paying attention. So like I kind of fall into that category.
I was bad at everything.
Wow. If I could speak for the school system, I would say, shit. Damn.
They left me outside one time, actually.
And then you got in trouble for it.
I got in trouble for
it. Damn. That's whack.
It is whack. You know, funny enough, my parents, they sent me from that school to a public school because the Catholic school wouldn't do the testing to get me an IEP.
That's interesting. What's an IEP?
Individualized education plan. It's for people with like dyslexia or whatever. Yeah.
Shit.
No, we were like, hey, he needs to know the difference between vowels and consonants. And they're like, he'll figure it out. And
vowels you have to buy, consonants you can just get.
No, I've been told I have to put on a consonant before intimacy.
Well, I thought consonants were like North America, South America. So anyway, I actually found the video that I'm referencing. The video that I was talking about is specifically, it is psychiatrist tells the truth about Adderall and ADHD meds. So that's if you want to look up what I was talking about in particular. Mm-hmm. It's HealthyGamerGG on YouTube, all one word. Link in description. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Do you have any recommendations before we go?
LaCroix and Cheez-Its.
All right. I cannot co-sign that because I don't.
Why do you have to put that down, Alex? I don't know why. You could have just said thank you for your input.
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Instead, you had to be like, No, that's fucking dumb.
Thank you for your service, Gavin. Is that what you want?
I mean, I do plan on joining the Navy, so yeah, sure. Thank you for your future service.
No, this is what I say instead.
You are radically unsuccessful. You are a giant loser. Like a giant who is a loser and also a giant loser.
Why does he have to, like, explain that? I've never understood. Is it just because it's Ben Shapiro? Like,
he was trashing John Fetterman, and he was just trying to drive home the point that he doesn't like him. Did you see that he has a beard now? Not to draw out the show, but did you see that Ben Shapiro has a beard now?
Really?
Yeah, and I'm not just talking about his wife. Am I right? No, he has attempted to grow a beard, and it looks awful.
God. You need to see my reaction.
Yeah, we're getting Gavin's live reaction.
Ben Shapiro's sister is quite attractive.
She is. Yep. All right, quickly, look at his beard so we can close it out.
Hang on. Wait.
Just like watch one of his most recent videos.
Oh no.
Doesn't it look so bad?
Is it like a big bushy one?
It's not like big bushy. It's like because he hasn't been growing it for that long.
Is it like stubble?
It's like somewhere between stubble and big bushy. Anyway, if you're looking for it, it's fine. We can just close out the show. I don't want to drag this out.
I mean, I have this picture of what I think to be Ben Shapiro.
You don't know what he looks like?
Like this?
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't look good.
No, he fucking
he looks goofy. Alex, he looks like he glued his dad's like razor clippings to his face.
Alex, if that looks bad, then I'm fucked.
No, yours is a lot better than his. He just looks like he rubbed chia seeds on his face. It just doesn't look like he just looks like a baby. Ben Shapiro. I think it's just because it's Ben Shapiro and Ben Shapiro looks like a baby. Like, it's not necessarily the beard that's the problem, but like the entire face.
I will say his head looks disproportionately small to his body.
He has the face of a child that shits himself. Anyway, I think that's the show.
I
think that's the show.
I think that's the show.
Yeah, thank you everyone for listening to another episode of What We Need to Say. If it's your first time here, welcome. If it's not, that's cool. If you like the show, then like it. If you subscribe, then subscribe. If you share it, that's awesome. The Clips channel is linked in the description. Yeah. Share them with friends, family, coworkers.
Play them at a funeral.
If Santa has broken into your home to oust the other people that have broken into your home who are trying to rob your safe or whatever, share it with him. Share the show with them. And like and subscribe. Oh, also we're publishing the show on YouTube now, so leave a comment if you liked the video. If you didn't like it, fucking keep that to yourself, okay? Okay?
We have people in a lot of places, so be careful where you diss up.
I have friends in low places, quite frankly.
Yeah, I'm actually personally quite poor, and I would not be able to afford to hire people to do that. So
follow me on social media, not Gavin. Don't follow Gavin anywhere.
Stop. Don't.
And without further ado, let's get the hell out of here.
Let's get it.
Let's leave. I gotta
take off.
I gotta drive home. I gotta get myself. Gotta put my kids to bed.
I gotta go and do my taxes.
Yeah, I have been locked outside of my school.
Now they're yelling at me.
Yeah. And they're saying this to me.
You are radically unsuccessful. You are a giant loser. Like a giant who is a loser and also a giant loser.